Then into the ground, headed by a breeze, in towards half forward. A chance now for the Irish. Away comes their strong man McNally. Gets the ball wide, taken by O'Shea. Some interesting shepherding. O'Shea centering the ball. Drifting back is Kerrigan. The ball has too much carry. He's deep in the pocket. He slaps it across, looking for support from Spillane. He collides there with Di Domenico, and it will be an Australian ball. Langford, the man who picked up the 3 points, a mid-air soccer kick, if you don't mind. Drop kick along the grandstand side. And the ball is taken nicely there by Cahalan. Cahalan on the midline. Sending Ireland back into attack. A high floating kick. A lot of Australians around the ball. Di Domenico should have spoiled. Swooping on the ball, O'Driscoll. And he just misses what could have been 6 points. Eugene, what do you make of this start?
The Irish players are trying to put the ball in low rather than high. They've obviously conceded they're not going to win in the air, and they're putting the ball in low to the forwards in the hope of beating Australia low down.
McIntosh finds Roos in centre field. He wants to go. He slips on the cricket pitch. Now he goes back to take his kick on the midline, and 15 metres awarded by umpire Rowan Soers, officiating tonight with PJ McNally. The ball goes out wide. Coming down is Gerard Healy, takes the bouncing ball. Or is it Gary Pert? Gary Pert with a massive kick across his body. That's a fine effort from there. And a further 3 points to Australia. Australia 6, Ireland 1. This is Spillane, takes the short pass in. Goes wide. Daly trying to crash his way through, being claimed there by Healy. Fisted back Australia's way. A massive punch there by Pert. Taken by O'Byrne. McGilligan gets it across to support. This is Murray. Murray in towards centre field, trying to take the bouncing ball for Australia. Bairstow lays it off nicely. Di Domenico took one high. Cahalan took him. Di Domenico goes back after a player, if you don't mind. O'Shea tangles with Di Domenico. And of course, this was a thought. There's number 22, Kerrigan. And Dipper, I don't think, was quite aware of who hit him initially. It was Cahalan. But this was the thought, I think, Eugene, coming into the game, the fact that there could be a fair bit of physical play in the opening
I think if Cahalan decided to hit anybody in Australia, he surely picked the wrong man by hitting Dipper.
Well, I suppose it depends how you look at it and depends how hard he hit him. This is Danaher with the ball, forward of midway. High floating kick. They'll contest in the small rectangle. Off hands Rioli, brilliantly blanketed by O'Leary. It comes back to Rioli. Magnificent snap for 3 points. So Australia starting in splendid fashion, and there's the wizard, Maurice Rioli. Healy now, long bomb, and puts it through for a behind. 9 plays 1. We've gone only about 5 minutes. O'Leary comes to the commentary side. It's taken by Daly, gets a hand pass over. Cahalan's got it now. In turn releases the ball to be taken by O'Shea. Sweeping hand pass out wide. Blaney is coming down, interfered with an Australian, and the ball will be taken by Terry Danaher. And about the centre line now with the aid of 15 metres. Beautiful sight to Wacker tonight. Bathed in light. Big crowd. An air of civic pride as the kick goes across the ground from Danaher. Coming down is Pert, gets a deflection. This is Wilson on the outer side for Australia. Searching hand pass, past Healy. Going towards the end line, covering the ball. In fact, kicking it out. It will be an Australian ball, I think, on the 45. Hagen putting it across the line, and the ball must come back to the 45. A few of the Australians a little unsure about the rule, but running it back. Here's Gerard Healy there. And the crowd generally getting in the swing of things early. There goes the Healy kick down towards the 20-metre line. In front, Langford takes the strong mark. Well, he is the tall timber as far as the Australians are concerned tonight. This is a change from the Tour of Ireland. They've gone away from Ruckman. And Langford, a defender in home and away matches in the VFL, is cast in the role of a tall follower in midfield tonight. Langford, already with 3 points to his name, gets another 3. So Australia pushing hard in this opening term here at the WACA ground. Langford has 6 points. O'Leary puts it in. McNally was up. It's knocked away from behind by Wilson. Taken by Langford. This is Anderson, the South Australian. He runs across the 20-metre line and bangs through another 3 points. So the Australians at the moment putting on a clinical. And the ball will come back. I think he ran more than the 6 steps. And the kick will be taken by Murray. And an Australian is down there.
Certainly this is a very bad start for Ireland, because they were desperately needing a good start here, and they find themselves now 11 points behind already after only 8 minutes play, so it's very serious for them.
Maurice Rioli, magic. Maurice Rioli, what's he done with this one? If it's a red flag, it's 3. No, it's a behind. O'Leary in short. Around the outer side comes Daly. When I say the outer side, that's from our commentary position. Missed by Roos. Kerrigan couldn't control it, and it will be an Australian ball. Craig Holden sends play back towards the half-forward line. Taken nicely down there by Holden. That's the Holden that's representing Ireland tonight. O'Shea gives it across to support from McNichol. Back it comes to O'Shea. In turn, he got the ball across towards Blaney. He was put down rather unfairly. O'Shea is taken high. Good body strength. And it will be O'Shea's free, despite the protestations out there. Peter Wilson is reluctant to allow O'Shea to have the ball. I think Peter thinks it's holding the ball. Not quite. And now the book is out. Number 24. Yes, sirree. Peter Wilson planning a trip to the VFL next year. Not the way to start. This is O'Shea. Long one down towards the small rectangle. From behind, McNally was the leaper. Leads back in the race. Feeds it inside. Missed there for Ireland, though, by Blaney. It's socked off the ground by the Australians. It will be an Irish ball.
I'm sure the Ireland players won't be too happy with the refereeing here, because they're being pushed quite a bit off the ball, and that doesn't happen in their own game.
This is Daly after the short pass from Hagen. Daly outside 20, goes long down towards full forward. It's taken down there by Di Domenico. The mark will stand. This is Bairstow. Bairstow running it out now. Only 6 paces allowed. Bairstow drives it along the broadcast side. Cross comes Pert. Looks for the deflection back. Chopped off, though. It's taken by Holden. This is Spillane. Spillane, his defensive 45, goes across ground unintentionally where Kerrigan leads in the race. Kerrigan's got it. Tackle from behind. Must be a Kerrigan free. No, play allowed to go on. Socket intelligently by O'Shea. Taken by Daly. And Daly's off for a run. One of the hallmarks of the Gaelic game. He's slung though by Flatton. That's one of the hallmarks of the Australian game. Taken out there by Australia as Wilson. Hand passes wide to Nailey. Nailey tries to keep it in. Couldn't. It will be an Irish sideline kick.
I'd certainly say the Irish players are shell-shocked at this stage, because that was the Irish referee who did not give a free to Daly there, and 9 times out of 10 that would be a free in Ireland. So quite obviously they'll have to adjust to the fact that they're going to be hit on and off the ball without getting frees here.
Now the rule is a slight tackle, isn't it? But not a slinging tackle, not a grabbing tackle. Ball in centre field, taken there by Kerrigan. In the way is Healy. Healy gets it across to Roos. Plenty of support outside for Roos. Lays the ball off. It's taken by Di Domenico, who runs through centre. Dippers away. Goes down towards the pocket. Pert moving into open space. Or was it Richardson? Either one. Richardson takes the mark down there. A couple of options as they brought the ball down the ground for Australia. Michael Richardson, no stranger in this neck of the woods. Interchange as Pat Spillane comes on. Driscoll, I think, is coming off. Meantime, further points for Australia. And Murray ran into a dead end. This is Daly over the ball. High tackle, surely. And it will be an Irish free on the outer side. So at the moment, Ireland not quite sure just what the heck is happening to them at the WACA ground, as the Australians are applying a fair degree of vigour.
Pat Spillane is an interesting interchange there, because Pat Spillane is reckoned to be the best carrier of a football in Ireland, in Gaelic football. So it'll be interesting to see what he does when he wins the ball. He usually goes on what we call solo runs.
Kick into centre field. Leaping over the top and taking a grand mark out there is McNally. McNally plays on towards half forward. Di Domenico, that should be a free. The ball must come back as Dipper put down Spillane, the man we were talking about. And there's not much science about that, no matter what code you play. And Spillane gets up and stands on his digs. Now he's been reported.
This is the sort of thing that will certainly make a very bad impression in Ireland, because if the games tend to be over robust as Ireland sees them, they won't have any future. So a knock-knock depends on the referees for the rest of this game.
Well, that's over robust, I'm sure, in both codes, Eugene. I think that would have earned him a report in an Australian rules game, but Australia finish up with the ball. Remarkable. This is Holden driving down towards the half-forward line. Waitman was there. It's knocked away, taken by Spillane. Spillane gets it inside. Murray's got the ball now. High kick towards centre field. Pat Spillane is there. Interfered with Roos. Well, Rowan Soers has seen it that way. I thought for a moment he was going to award it the other way. It'll come to Roos. It's pretty hard there in the middle too, which doesn't make it easy.
That's right, yes. Jack O'Shea, our star fielder of ball so far, hasn't made much impact on the game. That's a big disappointment, but possibly he'll get into it.
Roos to half forward. Pert drifting down the ground, takes the mark just outside 45. Goes across the ground. One doubts the wisdom of that. Up comes Healy, confronted by Daly. Gets it across to Langford. Another of his patented drop kicks down towards the pocket. Maurice Rioli out of space. Must be a Rioli free down there. He was claimed by Spillane. Deep in the pocket. Maurice Rioli, left footer, centres the ball in best position to Mark O'Byrne. Running behind O'Shea, breaking away. Back to O'Byrne. Good support by the Irish. O'Byrne runs it up towards centre field. Gets it across to McNichol. McNichol goes in short. And now Ireland set to establish something as the ball comes in a half forward, taken by Blaney. Blaney goes over the top. Long sweeping hand pass across the face of goal. It's fisted in for 6 points by It's Kerrigan, number 22. Spillane involved in the build-up to the goal. Finished off by McNally. It can be hand or foot into the net for 6 points. Back in the midfield. O'Shea knocks it wide. Blaney over the ball, couldn't control it. Roos picks it up and breaks away. Gets it out wide to Bairstow, inside 45. Bairstow, the wind gets it and pushes it left to right through for a behind. Unfortunately, one of the problems we do have in our commentary position is we can't see a scoreboard. This is McGilligan. That's more than an occupational hazard, not for him, for us. This is Johnston. Johnston squares the ball. Walsh has got it. Walsh across his body. Puts it through for a behind. Walsh. This is Holden. And Ireland drive the ball back to midfield. Roos coming to meet it robustly. Through he goes. Roos with a sweeping hand pass. Accommodates Healy. Healy across his body. O'Leary's in the way. Gets it across to O'Shea. Chance for a quick rebound now for Ireland. O'Shea has the ball deep in his own defensive area. Around the outer side they come. This is Daly with the ball now. Driving towards half forward. Coming to meet it. DiPierdomenico gets a favourable bounce. In fact, he made it favourable. Well played. This is Danaher. Danaher from half back, driving towards half forward. It will be an Irish ball either way. O'Shea takes it inside the field of play. Goes over the top to Holden. Holden, anxious to sidestep, forced to kick, puts it out of play. Wilson to take the sideline kick. No, in fact, it's going further back down the ground. Terry Danaher's got it. Danaher goes in short, finds Langsford. Langsford's away. Rather Langford, long, and it grazes the behind post. And that's a behind.
It is rather strange that Australia are getting so many behinds. They're after getting 3 in a row there, and that adds up to 3 points, which could be very vital towards the end of the game. They're getting them largely unchallenged.
Not much science in the finish by the Australians. O'Leary comes to the broadcast side. Holden to Healy. Healy running it down inside 45, approaching 20. Centres the ball. In best position is Walsh. Brilliant effort by the big fellow as he slapped it in for 6. I'd venture to say that's about the first time the Australians have done that. Offside. Bad luck for Walsh. Down goes McGilligan. Emerging with the ball is Langford. Across to Johnston. And Johnston goes for the long bomb and puts it through for another behind. Certainly quick thinking, though, in that last build-up by Walsh. Obviously alert to what happened at the other end from McNally.
Yes, there is a small rectangle down there. If you're inside that, unfortunately, you cannot score. You're in before the ball arrives there.
Ireland driving towards their half-forward line. Good cooperative defence there by Roos and DiPierdomenico. And the latter drives towards half-forward. Rioli, as he does so often, finding space. Rioli cuts inside, squares the ball. A shade too much. Langford gets back, though. Controls it well, the big fellow. Gets around Spillane. Falls over on the cricket pitch area. Comes to Healy. This is Rioli. Rioli settles now about 35 metres out and misses to the left-hand side. The Irish bench wondering perhaps just what to make of it. The ball on the outer side. Blaney knocks it on to no advantage. Away comes Daly. Now they've got a spare man running. This is Blaney. Sweeping hand pass looking for Spillane down there. Brilliant defense by Roos, though. He controlled that ball in the air magnificently. McIntosh gets it across to DiPierdomenico, and DiPierdomenico sets off. Up he comes towards the midway line, chips it in short. Australia with a run at the ball. Wilson coming to meet him solidly there was an Irish player in Daly. I don't know that either was inside the rules there, both preparing for the collision. Meantime, on the forward line, Walsh almost takes a spectacular mark, and the ball has gone off his hands and across the end line, so it's an Irish ball. Walsh feeling the effects of that one. Certainly spectacular. Wilson in midfield to Danaher. Danaher on the cricket pitch area, driving into the forward line. Walsh is in front down there, knocked away by the big fellow McGilligan. Well, you're not allowed to pick up the ball like that, Dale Waitman, and it will be an Irish ball. You must knock it out in that situation, Eugene.
That's right. The latest transfer, interchange player there, number 27, is Colm O'Rourke for Ireland. Now, he's a well-known goal scorer back home, so it would be interesting to see how he fares.
Holden has the ball. This is Platten. Platten has the ball on centre wing. Fires it deep into attack. Danaher drifting in from the side takes a very good mark for Australia. And there's a scuffle ahead of play. It's more than a scuffle. That is an international incident. Well, this is going back to Ireland, and one doubts what this will do for the image of the game. Johnston and O'Leary seems to be the main event. And one of the Ireland players being refrained there. Spillane trying to refrain Johnston. Don't know what triggered that. It was off the ball, and certainly it ignited very quickly indeed.
Well, I feel that I mentioned it earlier, the refereeing is, in my opinion, is a bit slack here. The players have been hit before the ball comes, and they're being hit after the ball is transferred, and inevitably that leads to frustration. Just that is the end result of it. Now, this is what happened in Ireland, and it left a sour taste in the minds of a lot of Irish people, and we just can't have any more of it here if this series is going to have a future. It's really up to the referees to make sure that the tackling rules are obeyed by both teams.
Well, that had little to do with tackling, didn't it? It was ahead of the play, but could have been instigated by earlier incidents where feelings have been running high. There's DiPierdomenico. Can't hang that one on him. Pert having his name taken. Whoops, he must have been in it. Long distance. He came down the ground. He was one of the later rivals, Robbie DiPierdomenico. Now, I think DiPierdomenico has been sent off. Or has he been interchanged? It's hard to tell. Walsh is off the ground too. He seems to have injured that shoulder, attempting to take that mark. Now, DiPierdomenico, has he been sent off? Apparently that seems to be the consensus. He's no stranger to that. It happened in the last test, I think, in Ireland last time around.
Yes, it did, yes. He was one of the players that Ireland were fearful of in every sense of the word, and the fact that he's sent off now would probably be a psychological boost to Ireland.
"19 plays 7. And we've been playing about 20 minutes, so almost into extra time. "21.5 minutes, in fact, gone. Some indecision out there at the moment as the umpires have come across to sort out just who's off in terms of the interchange, and more importantly, I think, who's been sent off. And because there was a lot happening in terms of activity through the interchange gates, we're not quite sure ourselves. Now there's a head count taking place. And the two coaches have met in the interchange gates. And a lot of remonstrating is going on over there, just away from this situation. That is settled. Both the coaches came to the interchange gates, and there was a lot of gesticulating with fingers and what have you.
I don't know, does anybody know what's happening at the moment, least of all the players?
I guess that's the problem when you've got a composite game. You're breaking new ground on occasions.
Yes, there's confusion. In Ireland, when you're sent off the remainder of the game and you cannot be replaced.
So, play restarts. Trying to crash his way through there is Daly. And he sends the ball very wide. Langford's got it. Langford inside 20 metres, but very deep in the pocket. Sends it back to Holden. Holden firing at goal. Slides it across the face. A chance for Rioli behind. Rioli running out of space. Desperate defence by the Irish. Cahalan gets a kick. Back towards Danaher, close to the boundary line. Danaher forced across the boundary line. Solid contact was made there. Lyons crashing into him. And Lyons goes back aggressively after the ball, and it's on again. Well, really, this is nonsense. They think so too. A few smiles there. Terry's not too happy, but Gerard Healy is smiling broadly. And Ireland will get on with the game. Hagen goes short and finds McNichol. McNichol wants to play on. Now he does. Chips it across field. Not much gain there. Daly right on the boundary line as the hooter brings to an end a very eventful first term at the WACA ground. Australia establishing a handy lead. They lead by 12 points. As you can see, nothing in the net, but they bombarded the goal. 19-7 then the score. We'll be back right after this. Quarter time then at the WACA ground. Kevin Heffernan walking off from his quarter time huddle. It's 19-7. The Australians not finding the net as yet, although McNally did for Ireland. And John Rogers and Grant Dorrington back from the respective huddles. Let's go down to John.
Thanks very much. Well, Kevin Heffernan, the Irish coach, had a lot to say to his players at quarter time. He said, for goodness sake, bring the ball in lower into the forward line. They're not picking up the Australian players in the middle of the ground, which is what they've got to do. Play football and forget about the rough stuff. What did Toddy have to say, Grant?
Well, Coach Todd was very pleased with the Australian side. He was very pleased with the way they were running. He said, forget about the physical stuff. Go and get the ball and play the skills. That was the name of the game. And he said, keep up the good work from the first quarter. Very pleased indeed he was.
That's it from down here, fellas. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. John Rogers and Grant Dorrington.
There we should have a great game.
Professional eavesdroppers down there at the respective huddles. And again, Maurice Rioli's got a very short memory. If John Todd's said forget about the physical stuff. In fact, all the Australians have. Well, this is really going to set back, I think, attempts to have this code take off. It really has a lot going for it, but this isn't part of it. Rowan Soers sorting it out with Lyons. That's Mick Lyons, his brother, not on the side tonight. Most unlike Maurice Rioli to spark at something like that. There was contact approaching the ball, but I don't think it was intentional. Now Ireland, I think, will take the ball as Rioli's name goes into the book. It's becoming like War and Peace, this book. This would be about page 306 already. And we've played just a couple of minutes, in fact, about 30 seconds of actual playing time in the second term.
So far, Ireland have only managed to get 2 scores in the game as opposed to 10 for Australia. I think that's the most salient point up to now as far as Ireland are concerned. They want to get moving.
Waitman finished up with the ball. This is O'Shea with a grim look of determination on his face as he breaks away from defence, chips it in short, takes it back too as he runs up through the centre. Crashing his way through is Wilson. Wilson relishing that situation, finds Rioli with space. How many times has that happened? This is Wayne Johnston, 25 out. Wayne Johnston puts it through for 3 points, I'd venture to say. Yes, it is. Another 3-pointer, 22-7. Australia with a handy lead. Ireland through Cahalan in midfield. Good side bump applied by Healy there on McNichol, and it will be an Australian ball. Ball thrown out. Now Healy, aided by 15 metres, well within scoring range. Former Melbourne player, now of course with the Sydney Swans. And the Australian players were queuing up to take part in this challenge series. Not a good kick from Healy, falls in short and is deflected through for a behind. O'Leary wants to play on, but again the flag was still being waved down there as he chipped the ball out to Daly. So back it comes to O'Leary. And this crowd is built up substantially now. Looking at the banks here at the WACA ground, it must be up around the 23,000 mark. In fact, it could be as high as 25. It's a massive crowd. Ball on centre wing. This is Healy once more for Australia. Deft hand pass. Bairstow rides a bump, deflects it off the ground as he must in this code. Taken by Blaney on the left foot around the corner. Healy, great diving capture. Healy on the midline. High kick towards half forward. Richardson drifting back there, and he's interfered with. Michael Richardson inside the 45. Over the shoulder. Murray, the offender. So Mike Richardson kicks down towards full forward. It's a poor kick. It bounces across the end line. Irish ball. O'Leary wasting no time. Finds Daly on the bounce. Daly nicely around the Sandover medalist Mark Bairstow and sends play back towards midfield. Spillane under the ball, taken by Holden. Gets it across to support. It was wide of Richardson. Murray coming through. Taken now by Wilson. Brushes aside a tackle. Away comes Peter Wilson. 6 steps allowed. Wilson goes long towards the 25-metre line. Coming through strongly down there is McGilligan, the redhead. And McGilligan sends play back towards midway, where Ruse intercepts. Ruse goes out wide. Wilson, nice deflection down, taken by Holden. Holden to Waitman. Waitman with support inside, goes alone. Dale Waitman gets it across now to be taken here by Johnston. Johnston goes with his right foot and finds Platten moving into open space. Platten has this about 35 metres out. I think I called it the 25-metre line. It's the 20-metre line ahead of him. And he misses yet again. Not a good kick as far as the Australian team is concerned. O'Leary sends it back towards the half-back line. Ireland send it forward yet again. It's McNichol. Fisted away by Ruse. Coming through strongly down there was Nayley, out wide to Holden. Holden runs it down towards the 45-metre line. And coming up to take the mark down there is Anderson. McGilligan in close attendance, and Anderson thinks he can do it from here. Deliberately in. They contest just outside the small rectangle. It was fisted away by O'Shea. Swooping on the ball, Johnston. It's deflected through for a behind. Short one from O'Leary, taken by Daly. Gets around Waitman nicely. Lays it inside. Taken by Cahalane. Wide to Spillane. Spillane on centre wing. Shrugs one tackle. Misses a forearm. Kicks in towards half forward. Good catch is taken there in front by Lyons. Lyons gets it across to support. Down goes O'Rourke. And it's going to be an Irish ball. You can't sling tackle like that. Wilson penalised. O'Rourke, a left footer, gets his first kick in the game now. And he's only about 30 metres out directly in front. Colm O'Rourke. Very side on as he pops it across the bar for 3 points. Ireland desperately needing that one. McIntosh, that's their first score in this period. So they move to 10. McIntosh. Off hands. Cahalane. Hand passing towards half forward. Plucked out nicely by Richardson. First part was good. Coming through is Blaney. Confronted by Healy, who comes away with the ball. Goes in short. Getting a deflection there was Bairstow. It's well taken. The hand pass comes out from Lyons. Kick from Holden. Goes inside the 20. And the ball is taken down there by Spillane. Spillane pops it over the top, looking for O'Driscoll on a lead. He could do nothing down there. Crashing through was Blaney. Getting the ball out of that pack there was Ruse. And once more, tempers becoming frayed.
Well, it really comes down to the point where the referees are simply letting too many off-the-ball tackles, as we call them. And that's, in other words, where a player is hit just before he gets the ball or just after he releases the ball. And I think myself this is leading to a lot of the problems. There's a follow-up then, and several players join in.
It really is tough for players of both sides, simply because they don't really know just what's allowed. There's Ted Whitten and Greg Williams, John Todd in the background behind them, and I'm sure the Australian camp would be well satisfied with the way things are going. PJ McGrath taking the number of Paul Ruse. It's amazing how you have your number taken in this game and retain possession of the ball. And I think that crossed Kevin Heffernan's mind there. Still Roos has it. Deep in defence. Trying to crash his way through there was McNichol. We've had a change of referee, have we, or umpire? Paddy Collins is officiating and not P.J. McGrath. Thanks, Eugene.
There was a doubt about Paddy Collins. He had a hamstring injury, but apparently he declared himself fit at the last minute.
Cahalan out of defence, back to midfield. But the ball must come back. And it will be an Australian ball. Holden standing the mark. As Rioli has the ball, forward of centre. High floating kick, inside half forward. Bounces high, taken by Langford, and Langford puts it across the face. Not over the end line. Crowd in that pocket not altogether happy with the call. Ball is in midfield, taken by Spillane. Spillane driving across the ground. Gathered on the outer side out there by McNichol. Great skills by McNichol. Goes down towards the pocket. Leading in the race is O'Rourke. He's a left footer. Sells the dummy, comes back on the left side, but the kick is atrocious. Out over the end line. Australian ball. McIntosh wasting no time. Number 2, not listed for Ireland initially. Is that McAlinden out there? Ball comes infield, taken now by Richardson, who was claimed high. Spills across to Holden, whose sock is off the ground under real pressure, puts it across the line. Australian ball. Gerard Healy will take this kick from the 45-metre defensive line for Australia, who have a handy lead. Healy kicking down towards half forward. Langford comes up, appear to interfere with Holden. Slung there, Nailey. Must be his ball. Nailey to take the free, wasting no time. 23-10. Thanks, Eugene. 23-10 our scoreline, as Nailey has the ball forward of centre wing. Mark Nailey from South Adelaide. Long inside the 45. Missed down there by that number 2 player. I think McAlinden, will call him such. That's what he is in the budget, at least for the moment. Plenty of work going on out there. Waitman interfering with O'Shea, and O'Shea's ball deep in his own defence. O'Shea has probably been the best Irishman out there so far tonight. A high kick towards centre field. It's all Australia around the ball. Holden misses. Now Spillane can run. He pops the ball in short to no one in particular. It's all Australia around the ball. McIntosh draws a man, pops it over the top. It's taken now by Danaher. Danaher's in trouble, confronted, and that will be an Irish ball. They waste no time. It comes to Blaney. Blaney, 6 points coming up. Brilliant stuff by the Irish. There's McNichol, who put that one in with his hand. 6 points to Ireland, which according to us makes the score 26. No,
it's 23-13 at the moment.
This is a trap for young players. There's the Irish bench. Not only is the game having teething problems. Langford gets it down, taken by Rioli. Rioli breaks towards the half-forward line. Surely interference to Nailey, not called. Cahalan searching hand pass, brilliantly done. Sends O'Shea on his way. Spillane's got it now, and a tries, he gets it across to O'Driscoll. He's dragged off the kick, but not before he got it back to O'Shea. Surely he was taken high. It will be an Irish ball, although Ireland had the run downfield. The advantage is not paid in this game. Of course, in Australian rules, I think it would have been let go. But Ireland penalised there. A great break down that grandstand side with numbers ahead. And O'Shea, who made it so much ground, he initiated that attack from defence and was up for the short ball towards the midline. As Spillane. This is O'Shea. 23-16. O'Shea with a high floating kick to the small rectangle. In fact, it will score. It goes through for a behind. McIntosh. Short one to Nailey. Nailey breaks away. Sends play towards the centre wing. Ireland with nowhere to go there. It was Hagen who was tackled, and he will get the kick. Can't tackle like that. Chips it in short. Taken by Holden. Holden goes down towards the 20-metre line. It bounces out of play. It will be an Australian ball as Wilson tangles down there with McNicholl. McNicholl, the man who scored that last goal in brilliant fashion off the hand.
This is a good period for Ireland now. This is the best period in the game so far. They've got the last 3 scores, so we'll see can they maintain this supremacy now to the halfway point.
Mark is taken by Lyons. He's had a torrid night as he sends play back into Ireland's attacking zone. Roos misses the mark. Chance now behind it. It's slapped by O'Rourke across square. McNally puts it in for another 6 points. And Ireland picking up the tempo now and doing it in style. So Ireland take the lead according to my reckoning. Costly missed that one. Brilliant play by O'Rourke. He squared the ball and McNally got on the end of it. That's his second 6-pointer tonight. According to our scoreboard, it's 23 all. How does that sit with you, Eugene?
The scoreboard reads 24 for Australia, 23 for Ireland. I think that could be
split the difference. Australia lead by half. It's that sort of game. We can make it up as we go. This is O'Driscoll. The crowd really loving it, though. Plenty of action. And the players giving their all, as you can see. Diving on top of it down there is McNicholl. And it's going to be an Australian ball. He was down. He gained possession. You can't do that. You've got to knock it out. This is Roos. Roos sends play towards midfield. Cahalan takes a good catch. And a bit of treatment, too. Ireland playing very solidly now. Cahalan into the forward line. Coming out is Roos. Timely defensive mark, and he breaks away. Makes good his 6 paces around the outer side. Feeds Holden. Colliding with him was Lyons. The ball crossed the boundary line. It will be an Irish ball. Lyons showing a lot of commitment as he went across to the outer side. Murray gives the ball across. And Lyons drives it again into attack. Showing courage going back was Roos. Couldn't take the mark. Comes away with the ball, though. Gets it across to Platten, who gathers the half volley neatly. Gets a good shepherd, too, from Naley. But the ball will come back. When I say a good shepherd, in Australian rules parlance it was, but he shepherded with the body and not the arms. And as a result, Irish ball.
Well, there's been an amazing fade out by Australia, really, because they can't even win possession at this stage now. And Ireland are obviously in a position to score goals, the 6-pointers, which Australia find it very difficult to do. That could be very crucial for the end.
Spillane, a high kick, aided by the breeze. They'll contest about 20 metres out. O'Shea got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Wilson comes away for Australia. He's got blistering speed as Peter Wilson. He takes advantage of that and kicks towards centre wing. Rioli led his man under the ball. Rioli will soccer it on brilliantly. Rioli gets it to Anderson. The advantage is paid to Australia. Well, it was paid that time by Rowan Soares. It's squared across the face by Anderson. Platten on the scene. Can he fist it through? Platten is tackled. He's outside the small rectangle. It's in the air. Fisting it in is Anderson. Great goal for... Here's Platten under all sorts of harassment. And Greg Anderson, thump, and then it goes for 6 points. And you can see the crowd getting into the game behind the goal there as the ball went to the net, arms fully extended above the head. So the crowd really enjoying this. This is Rioli, claimed from front on there by McAlinden. Coming away with the ball, Bairstow. Bairstow takes his 6 paces, feeds Rioli in the cricket pitch area. Rioli brilliantly gets it across to McGuinness, who chips it out wide. Anderson. Willie McGilligan, a merry dance down there at the moment. He wheels onto that left foot, pulls it back across his body and puts it through for a behind. O'Leary to bring it out. O'Leary goes in short. It's taken there by Hagen. Hagen to centre field. Bairstow, the only man left standing. Blaney fell over. This is Healy running towards half forward. Jared Healy puts it out wide into the path of Platten. Platten has the run of the ball. Can he control it? Still he goes. Well played. Platten pulls it back. It's taken by Naley. Naley twisting and turning. The high kick goes towards the small rectangle. In fact, it's got the carry to go across the face. O'Shea looking to let it go out. Does so successfully, and it will be an Irish ball. Ball's beside the goal posts, as you can see. Makes for a very quick game as O'Leary puts it in. Ireland advancing around the outer side. McNichol won the initial ball. Spillane slung. That must be an Ireland ball. No, play allowed to go on. Langsford crashes his way through. Well played, Langford. Gets it across towards Waitman. Waitman, the hand pass back. This is Wilson. Wilson with dash down the grandstand side. Wilson goes inside 20 metres and has put it through for 3 points. Magnificent solo run.
Pat Spillane actually had his jersey torn off, literally torn off his back in that last incident, and got no free kick, so he was remonstrating with the Irish referee, not surprisingly.
Bairstow goes in short and finds Platten. Yes, Spillane coming off minus his shirt on the broadcast side, indicating perhaps he was tackled. Meantime, the ball goes out of bounds on the full for Australia. O'Leary, it really is action plus. There's something happening every minute of the time. O'Leary, the ball was passing behind him as he was moving out to kick it. It will be an Australian ball in front of our commentary position, and the kick will be taken by Gerard Healy. 34-23, do we make it? We do. Just over 19 minutes played in this second term. Australia lead, but Ireland have been very competitive. They trailed by 12 points at quarter time, so they've come back strongly, although Australia have steadied. Healy inside 20 metres. Interference to Danaher. Picked up by Rowan Soares. Terry Danaher, the Australian skipper, worked his way to the front and got the reward. Terry Danaher pops it through for 3 further points for Australia. Well, that's interesting. There was a flag of different colours down there. There was a red one and a white one. Well, there was 3 points. Well, the white one prevails. Crowd don't like it, and rightly so. That went through over the bar between the goalposts. Just the 1 point for Australia. That looked a certain 3, I thought, Eugene.
Looked 3 from here, all right, yes.
Meantime, on the forward line, this is Kerrigan. Kerrigan across the face, comes to O'Driscoll, and O'Driscoll slaps it in the back of the net for 6. That brought the bench to their feet. John O'Driscoll. And once more, O'Shea, as he has been all night, involved in the build-up. Kerrigan pulling it back across the face, and O'Driscoll blasting from close in. McIntosh belatedly diving to his left with no chance.
Well, O'Driscoll is the youngest player in the Irish panel, and probably one of the most brilliant. He's a real up-and-coming star, only 19 years of age, and much was expected of him, so he certainly produced the goods on that occasion.
Just 4 men in the midfield. They go at it again. It's one down brilliantly by Anderson. Rioli, he was tackled. Well, the umpire put the whistle to the mouth. Nothing eventuated. This is Roos. Roos gets it to Holden. Australia on the burst across to Wilson. Wilson runs through centre. Needs support. Nothing inside, so he decides to run it out alone. He's been penalised for making more than his 6 steps. Irish ball. Hagen's got it. Number 10. Got a name for that missing man. Number 2, in fact, is Mick Fagan. Not as shown in the budget. In fact, he wasn't listed in the original 19, but that's Fagan. So number 2 wasn't listed in the 19. There's the hooter for half-time. Finishing up with the ball, Mark Bairstow, the Sandover medalist. So let's take a look at our half-time scoreline. There's one of the stars of the game so far, Jack O'Shea, the skipper for Ireland. And they made up some ground, Ireland, in that second term. Australia 1-6-10 for 34, as you can see. Ireland 4-1-2, and some great play. Making up some of those fours. McNally a couple of times. Driscoll with that last blast. 4-1-2 for 29 then. 34 plays 29 at half-time. We'll be back shortly. Perhaps tonight not all the crowd. So set to go in the second half here at the WACA ground. This is the Foster's International Football Challenge. Umpire Soares holds the ball aloft. Dermot Brereton trots around the boundary. Anderson taps it out. Taken by Fagan. He's slung in a tackle. And that will be an Irish ball. Fagan's got it. Number 2 in centre field. So Ireland advance towards their half-forward line. This is Spillane. Cuts infield, kicks across the ground. There's a chance now for Blaney. He slipped over, so did McNichol. And as a result, Johnston breaks away down the ground for Australia. Johnston spears the ball inside 45. It's taken by Healy, gets it across to Waitman. Waitman inside 13, pulls it back across his body. It's stopped by O'Leary. O'Leary comes back to the broadcast side. In front is Murray. Murray runs across the boundary. It will be an Australian sideline kick. McGuinness sends the ball to a more central location, and it's taken down there by Fagan. Fagan deep in his own defence. Not a particularly good kick. Back towards the broadcast side, and Spillane can't get there in time, and Australian ball from the sideline. This is Bairstow. Bairstow has it and kicks back towards half forward. And the mark is taken down there by Danaher. Well inside 45, Terry Danaher with a chance to score for Australia here early in this third term. He starts at left. It goes well left. Rioli drifting into open space, takes the mark and will get 15 metres. Now this will take him to the edge of the small rectangle. A man will be allowed to stand the mark. So we'll have something akin to a soccer wall here forming in front of Maurice Rioli. O'Leary looking for clear side of the ball, but Rioli comes in, hits the post. Had it come back, it would have been play on. As it is, it goes through for a behind. The first score of the second half. Australia move out 36-29, and O'Leary has it. Kicks down the middle. McGuinness was there, couldn't do much with it. Blaney breaks away, kicks towards the half-forward line. This is Spillane. Spillane inside 45, going for distance. McGuinness, the only man there, takes the mark. The play is on Gary McGuinness. He's tackled from behind and slung. Well, almost. It comes across now, taken by McGuinness. It was McIntosh, rather, who was in trouble in the small rectangle. This is Anderson. Anderson driving towards the half-forward line. Knocked away by Fagan. Missed by Holden. Now a chance for Wilson. Wilson running up from midfield. Lays it off inside. It's taken by Nailey. Nailey goes goalward, puts it across the face. It will go beyond the end line, and a kick will be taken for Ireland, I think, down there by Fagan. No, Rioli will get a free ball. He was put down unfairly. Bumped in the back, and he made a meal of that, as you see. So Rioli will take the ball deep in the pocket near the end line. Break there for Australia. He centres the ball, drifting in from the side. A brilliant mark is taken by Danaher. And now Johnny Platten goes in after McGilligan. And once more, tempers becoming frayed down there. Cahalan battling, I think it is, with Dale Waitman away from the ball. But Danaher, a splendid grab.
It's obvious Australia are trying to find Rioli inside close to goals. He seems to be the most adept at getting possession in there, especially the low balls. It's time and again they fed the ball to Rioli, and with good results.
Danaher is just outside the small rectangle. Or in fact, has he been granted a penalty? There's an upshot of all of that. He's got a penalty.
In Ireland, we always take the penalties off the ground, as in soccer, but obviously have a choice here.
So Danaher will shoot from 13 metres. It's 1-on-1. Danaher against O'Leary. Danaher. Somebody moved, I think, behind the line, and Danaher will shoot again. Players being ordered away by Rowan Soares down there. Eugene goes for the rule book.
Well, when we're taking a penalty in Ireland, all players have to be 14 yards away from the ball except the kicker.
Well, they're certainly not that. O'Leary goes through the trauma again. Danaher miscues and puts it through for a behind. Australia 37, Ireland 29. O'Leary goes to the outer side, but directly to Johnston out there. Johnston, forward of midfield, under the bright lights of the Wacker, launches it high, wide of the goals. Danaher is up attempting the chest mark, gets it at the second attempt, but didn't complete the mark in bounds. Ireland ball, O'Leary wasting no time. He sent Blaney away, but the ball must come back, and that's happened quite a few times tonight. O'Leary moving it out quickly, but the goal umpire is still waving the flags. Remonstrations coming from the Irish bench, but the ball will come back, I think.
It was a free actually there, Dennis. He must have been considered that he overplayed the ball, which I would have thought is next to impossible in these rules. But
more than 6 steps.
In Ireland, you're only allowed 3 steps, so I can't understand how Irish players get caught here.
Right, well, Wilson finishes up with the ball. Goes Goldwood. And I think has put it through for 3 points. He has, so Australia move out to 40. Ireland to 29. O'Leary goes in short. It's taken by Fagan. Ireland on the move now. And they'll take a free out there. I think McNicholl was taken high. So McNicholl will take this ball, wasting no time. He goes looking for Spillane. Spillane still in his own half, gives it back to Fagan. Fagan sends it forward to be taken by McNicholl. He's tackled, lays the ball off to Fagan, but the tackle was unfair in the opinion of the umpire, and now Fagan tangles with an Australian. I think Ireland will retain possession of the ball.
Ireland don't seem to be able to move the ball as quickly out of their own defence in groups as Australia. Australia seem to be much more adept at that. Ireland are labouring to get it out of defence quickly.
This is McNicholl. Towards centre field, looking for O'Rourke. It's knocked away well by Anderson, taken by Platten. He gives the ball across to Bairstow. Bairstow goes inboard. This is Healy. Healy inside 20, fires on goal. It's charged down there. Well done by McGilligan, but Healy gets the rebound ball and snaps it over the bar for 3 points. 43-29. Australia starting the third term as they did the first quarter. Ireland with the ball. This is Daly. I thought he was tackled unfairly. No, it's an Australian ball. Langford drives it back inside the 20. And it will bounce across the end line, and O'Leary will put it back into play. So at halftime, 35-29, but Australia coming out and quickly putting on 8 unanswered points. Holden sending Ireland towards the outer side. McNicholl away, fires towards their half-forward line. Now a chance for Ireland. Coming through is O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll goes Goldwood and puts it through for a behind. The first score of the term for Ireland. McIntosh wasting no time through the legs of Bairstow, backing up as Anderson. A natural left footer over the head of Holden. Ireland leading the race to the ball. It's taken by Cahalan. He's slung. Wow. It's going to be an Irish ball. A belated whistle. And that seems to be where the game does break down most, I think, in this tackling situation, Eugene.
Yes, that would automatically be a free in Ireland when you pull a man down in any manner.
Well, according to the rules in this game, it's also a free, isn't it? I mean, you can't tackle. It's as simple as that. Coming through is Langford, does it well, gets it to Platten. Back it comes to Langford, going right on the boundary line. He goes down towards the pocket where Danaher leads. It's socked away by McGilligan, and the ball has crossed the boundary. It'll be an Australian sideline kick. It'll be taken down there by Gerard Healy. Danaher going back to the small rectangle, or in the area, that small rectangle, as Healy indicates he'll centre the ball. Fagan drifts in and takes a nice mark, and a bit from Waitman as well. Fagan. Guernsey ripped, as you can see, deep in his own defensive area, aided by 15 metres. Midway between the 20-metre and 45-metre line now. Kicks towards centre field. In best position to mark is Johnston, knocked away by McNicholl, knocked back by Nailey. Taken now by O'Rourke. It chips it in short. Daly's got it. Daly gets the hand pass on. This is Blaney. Blaney gets it out wide. Spillane. Spillane has a man on. Gets it across to Kerrigan. Kerrigan chips it in short. Brilliant play. It's taken by O'Driscoll, who slams it into the back of the... Back in the middle as Ireland edge closer. They trail by 7. And the crowd certainly getting into this game. A chant for Ireland going up through the crowd. Anderson opposed to O'Rourke. Offhands taken by Rioli, who goes in short, and the defensive mark is taken down there by Lyons. Lyons, a fiery customer, gets it across to Spillane. Spillane, good support, lays the ball off. Cahalan kicks it up towards midfield. It's dropped there by Holden. Socket off the ground by Blaney. A chance for McIntosh now, deep in his own defensive area. He's upended after he released the ball. Langford's got it for Australia. Sidesteps an opponent, comes away with it. Gets it across towards Bairstow. Bairstow lays it off to the run of Wilson. He's an explosive player, Peter Wilson. Goes along the broadcast side, kicks wildly. It will go across the end line. It will be an Irish ball. They waste no time. Spillane's got it now from O'Leary. Goes inside. It's taken there by Hagen. Hagen gets around the oncoming Australian Anderson. Goes towards the outer side. Leading back in the race out there is Roos. Has it on the 45-metre line. He's tackled out there by Blaney. It will be an Irish ball. Explain that one to me. That appears to be a tackle. Meantime, back at the ranch, this is O'Driscoll. Gets around the traffic. O'Driscoll gets it back to Spillane. Spillane inside 20, kicks across the goal face. Getting back there is Wilson. Lays a hand on the ball. It goes through for a behind. 37 plays 43 in this Foster's International Football Challenge. It's a great spectacle here at the WACA ground as Anderson drives in towards half forward. Getting up over the top was Lyons. Healy will take the free kick. McGilligan reluctant to release the ball and send it back. Now he does via Cahalan and Fagan. It's coming back very slowly. Gerard Healy. Too far out to score, I'd venture to say, although he gives it a fair old roost. And a great mark is taken down there by Danaher. That's a couple in this term. He's adjusted very nicely.
Well, watching that mark, it's easy to understand why Ireland had preconceived ideas about keeping the ball low, because they wouldn't compete at that level there.
Danaher across the face, looking for Nayley, but over the top comes O'Shea. He was a star in the first half. Gets the ball across to Murray. Murray runs up towards centre field, finds McNichol. McNichol goes out wide and finds Kerrigan. Kerrigan goes inside, looking for support from Daly, but breaking it up is Langford. Langford to Bairstow. Chance for a rebound now for Australia. Langford takes the hand pass, goes in short, looking for Waitman. Johnston crashed through, left the ball behind. Away goes Waitman, kicking towards half forward. On the lead is Danaher. It's knocked away by McGilligan. In fact, Danaher was held, and he'll take the free. Danaher at about centre half forward. Interchange as McNally comes back on for Ireland. He was a star in the first term. Here's the long kick from Danaher. It's way off the mark. It's out of bounds on the full. Over the end line. Makes no difference on the full or along the ground, really. It will be an Ireland ball. This is O'Leary. John O'Leary. Back towards centre field. Wilson in from the side, almost the McNally mark. Taken off hands. A chance for the quick break now as the ball comes to McNichol. McNichol a sweeping hand pass to Daly. Daly is away, gives it back to Blaney. Blaney is claimed from behind. That was fair enough. Blaney goes goalward and puts it over the bar for 3 points. Great build-up by Ireland.
The greatest difference between the sides is that Ireland can build up over a 4 or 5 man series of passes. Australia seems to rely more on punching the ball in towards the goals.
O'Shea was in the way as Australia tried to clear their defensive zone. Daly across to support. Blaney in trouble. Back to Daly. Daly gets it across. Now a chance. Charge down McNichol. Crashing into the pack was Holden. Picking it up in defence is Bairstow. Gets it to McIntosh. McIntosh, brilliant hand pass, sends Holden away. Again, it's Nigley back behind play, but Holden sends it towards half forward. Up there was Healy one hand. A chance for Fagan behind. Murray goes back through the traffic. There's Slung. Now, it will be an Australian ball from the side, but again, the tackle in evidence there as Murray certainly was upended as he kicked the ball. Australia by 3 points, 43-40. Maurice Rioli waiting for the ball to come back. Very tough for the Australians, of course. They have to temper their game, whereas the Irish have to perhaps become a little more physical. In fact, quite a deal more physical. Very tough for the players, and both sides showing a willingness to adapt and learn. Brilliant mark again on the forward line by Danaher. That's 3 in this term. Quite outstanding. So perhaps, Eugene, marking can become a feature of this game.
Well, a lot of people in Ireland were hoping the marking would become a feature, because high catching, or marking as you call it, was a major part of the Gaelic game, but it has tended to fade out in the last 5 or 10 years.
Danaher steers it through. 3 points to Australia. Their lead is back to 6. O'Leary goes short. on the bounce. It's taken there by Kahalain. Kahalain looking for Spillane and or Fagan. It's a 2-on-1 situation, but the one for Australia is Rioli, and doesn't he do it brilliantly? Great hustle there by Maurice Rioli, winning the sideline kick. One of the great players of Australian football. In towards half forward. It's fisted away by Holden down there. Kahalain, good vision as he gets the ball to Fagan. It was put down behind play. Kahalain, he's in trouble. Meantime, O'Shea drives through centre. Johnston's got the run of it. Kahalain appears to be badly hurt. Johnston goes around the outer side. It's the outer side from our commentary position. Waitman bobs up on the end of it. And Waitman was the man who was involved with Kahalain, and that's the point that O'Leary is making. But Dale Waitman's got the ball. And that's the point that needs making. Just a token brush there. So Dale Waitman from about 13 metres. I think he'll simply go over the bar. And he does. Another three-pointer for Australia. He'll move out to lead 49-40. Dale Waitman with 3. There's Kahalain. Still not looking very well as Australia register another behind this time. 50 plays 40. It's good to see that Neil Kahalain is up and about. He went to the ground writhing, holding his head, but he's made a quick recovery. This is Holden out of defence. Short, taken by McNichol. McNichol goes over the top, looking for Spillane. Crashing through there was Danaher. He's playing like a man possessed in this term. Setting a great example for the Australians. Sideline kick, though, for Ireland. Coming across to take it is Holden. John Todd having plenty to say out there. Teddy Whitten beside him in the foreground. Joint Brownlow medalist, almost the forgotten Brownlow medalist. Robert DiPietdomenico has taken most of the limelight, but Greg Williams, what a season he had for the Sydney Swans. Rioli, the high kick towards half forward. Healy's in front. Battling after the ball, Australia there. Waitman dragged out of it. This is Platten, pulls it back across his body. Too much. They contest close to the small rectangle, taken off hands by Holden. This is Anderson. Anderson pulls it back across his body. That's a great effort from there. It's play on if it ricochets off the goalpost. Holden wishes it weren't. He got the free. Now the advantage is paid as it comes to Hagen. Gets it across to support from Kerrigan. Hagen runs up towards midfield. It's taken now by Blaney. Blaney the long hand pass. McNichol's on a charge. Look at him go. McNichol storming down towards the 20. Gets it over the top. McNichol and McIntosh on a collision course. Down goes McNichol. What a brilliant run it was. And McIntosh is shaping up to a couple of Australians out there. And prostrate on the ground is McNichol. Dermot McNichol has not moved. He moved an arm there, and that's a good sign. Both benches up. Certainly the Irish bench has spilled over onto the ground. Ugly scenes down there. It's becoming more than a sporting contest, this one, at the moment. You could see that etched on the face of Kevin Heffernan as he walked towards the boundary. McIntosh has been sent off the ground, and under the rules we're playing by, rightly so. There's Kahalain.
I don't think there was any doubt about that tackle. It was quite simply, it appeared from here to be a box in the mouth or something like that, or a box in the throat. Deliberately an attempt to stop McNichol scoring a 6-pointer. So it's only right that the player should be sent off. However, the Irish players are very quick to retaliate and jump in to defend their colleagues. That's why these melees are happening.
Well, it was commitment by McIntosh coming off his line. It was a brilliant solo run down the field by McNichol, and it was obvious ahead of time a collision was on the cards. And I'm sure that Gary McIntosh, one of the toughest players in Australian rules football, would be uncertain of his ground as a goalkeeper, if you don't mind, in a situation like that. And he came out hell-bent on preventing a score against his country. And my word, it was a tough collision, as you saw. So McIntosh has been sent off. Wayne Johnston goes in goal, and it will be a penalty for McNichol, who's up. And that's good to see. McIntosh having words to the bench. What a tough customer. Not much of him, but pound for pound, one of the toughest in Australian football. One of the toughest in the composite game. And so the Foster's International Football Challenge is really turning this crowd alight. 3 points over the top for Ireland. Partisan crowd don't like it. 50 plays 43. In fairness to McIntosh, he kept his elbow and forearm down. It was a shirt front of the highest order. Whoa, and Holden lets one go, and it's on again. And one doubts whether a formative code like this can stand what is happening on this ground at the moment.
Well, certainly this whatever about the Australian reaction, I can see the reaction in Ireland will certainly be very, very strong. Because the one thing we don't want in our games is this sort of mayhem.
It would be a shame to jeopardize it, Eugene, because quite obviously with what we've seen from Danaher and other players, O'Shea in the first half, it really does have a future, doesn't it? Provided the players can curb this aggressive nature.
Well, we've had some marvellous skill here tonight from both players on both sides. But, you know, the game, unfortunately, will probably be remembered for these flare-ups.
Sure. Spare a thought for the players, because players of both sides are uncertain of their ground. I mean, it's as simple as that. The rules are not clearly defined. It's tough for the officials out there as well. The battle lines are drawn, but perhaps the rules aren't in keeping with those battle lines. It's going to be an Irish free. They'll take the ball across half back. So 3 Australians sent off the ground, 2 Irishmen off. It's Johnny Platten, one of the smallest men on the ground. Kick goes in towards midfield, taken by Wilson. Chance for O'Driscoll, who slips over on the cricket pitch. McNicholl dives on the ball, coming away as Richardson. Little toe poke, gets it across towards Healy. Healy left it behind. Socket off the ground by Murray. Good play. Ireland on a roll around the outer side as Daly gives it to McNicholl, the man who made that searching run moments ago. Up the top to Blaney. Back to McNicholl. He'll go into an open goal. No, he won't. He fell over. McNally off the ground. Misses. Johnston puts it back into play. Not a good kick. Blaney tackled. Australian ball. It'll be taken by Roos. He was over the ball on the ground. I think that was the interpretation. Big night. And the crowd really warming to this contest. Mark is taken, and a good one too by Holden. Holden, number 12, in midfield. Beside the pitch they used last night in the McDonald's Cup match. In short goes the kick, and Kerrigan takes it. So Kerrigan back in midfield will drive his side deep into attack. It's a massive kick. He puts it through for a behind. 45 to 50. Johnston going right up the middle. Dale Waitman controls the bouncing ball well and is away on a run. Goes over the top to Langford. Langford past the pitches. Runs through midfield. Missed kicks though. It ricochets back towards Kerrigan now, so a break for the Irish. Kerrigan on his half back line centers the ball. The intention was good, but Nailey read the danger. The deflection came to Waitman. Bairstow running up the field, lays it off into the path of Wilson. Wilson brilliantly knocks it on to Healy. Great courage by Peter Wilson. Healy back inside to Bairstow. Great shepherd too from Rioli. Found some space for Bairstow, and Bairstow goes in and puts it on for 3 points. 53-45. There's the hooter. 3/4 time. Australia 111-14. So what's that? 26 scoring shots as opposed to 5-3-6-14 for Ireland, and the difference is 8 points. We'll be back at the WACA ground in just a moment. So John Todd spells it out at the WACA ground. The first test between Australia and Ireland. 3/4 time, 53 plays 45. Australia led 35-29 at half time, 19-7 at quarter time. Let's go down to the boundary and John Rogers.
Well, there's a lot of confidence in the Irish camp at the moment. They really believe that with the last use of the fairly strong wind that they can win the game. Their coach was telling them to use the wind, kick the ball long down into the forward line, then bring it in low. Every man has got to have a go, use the ball, keep running and play the ball. Doro, I heard Toddy in his normal manner going right out of his tree. What did he have to say?
Well, some of the words he said I cannot repeat here. Johnny was very upset. He said the sides lack discipline in that quarter. They're trying to get in close to shoot for goals instead of getting the 3-pointers. Generally said it's a big effort. He's one short. Australia really needs a last quarter from him.
Well, we're set for a great game. Let's get back up to the broadcast area.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Grant. Great job tonight. Eugene, can Ireland get up from here? They trail by 8 points.
I'd say their confidence is good now, Dennis, because they had a very good third quarter there. They played the short game well and got a good few scores. So I'd say also the wind is quite a factor here. It's a strong wind blowing.
Play about to start then. One-man Lyons is in the midfield area when he's not supposed to be. He's being ushered out by the umpire. Just let it go. So that's our scoreline. 53-45, and the final term starts with Richardson bringing it away from the centre towards half forward, fisted away by McGilligan. Moving the pack is Platten with a high kick down towards the small rectangle. Out comes O'Leary. Well played, O'Leary, as he gets around Danaher and sends play back towards centre wing. Gathered by Lyons. Lyons, a man who's been in the wars tonight, fires towards half forward. It's all Australia at the fall of the ball. Missed down there. Bairstow rides one bump. Emerging with the ball, Ireland. O'Driscoll pulls it back. Awkward one for Johnston, but he takes the mark on his chest. And towards half back, Bairstow. Sweeping hand pass out wide, sends Roos away. Roos confronted there by Hagen. Kicks towards half forward. Knocked on intelligently by Danaher. Now a chance for Rioli. He's battling with Fagan. And Fagan is content to give away a sideline kick to Australia. Mark Nayley from South Australia. One of the best rovers in the land. Sends it back deep. And I'd venture to say off target. Well, they've credited a behind there. That would have been touch and go, I think. Cahalan sends play towards the outer side. This is Spillane. It's Spillane back towards half forward over the top. Healy knocks it into midfield, crashing through his Lions. Well played, equal to the task. McGuinness brilliantly gives it to Danaher, gets around McGilligan. Terry Danaher, now he's going on goal and puts it over the bar. 57-45. Terry Danaher's been a star certainly since half-time, Eugene.
Well, Danaher is the star of the game, in my opinion, for Australia, because he's what we would call back home the most natural Gaelic footballer playing for Australia. You could take him back home and put him in the best team in Ireland and he'd be very much at home.
Australia attacking and getting slung down there. It will be an Australian ball. Craig Holden will take it. No much doubt about that. So Holden deep in his own defence. A bit of jumper there. Driscoll standing the mark. Well, I'd venture to say already it's been a spectacular success, this Foster's International Football Challenge, the first test, and it will have whetted the appetites of fans in both Melbourne and Adelaide. As Holden kicks in towards midfield, taken by Cahalan, who copped a heavy knock in that last term. Another high ball back towards O'Driscoll and his marksman down there. Holden. O'Driscoll took the mark, played on, goes to ground. It's socked out of defence by the Australians. Now a chance for Blaney, back over his head, taken by Spillane. He's surrounded, back with Blaney, brilliantly charged down there by Healy, socked out of midair by Murray, taken by Waitman to the run of Nayley. Well played, Mark Nayley. Great vision too, as he saw a couple of Australians loose on the wing, but unfortunately too much carry on the kick, and it beats Wilson across the sideline.
The big question for Ireland in the last quarter will be their stamina, whether they can maintain the pace they set for themselves and match the Australians that way, because in Ireland 2 years ago that was a problem in the closing stages.
Lyons going for distance. Awkward one for Johnston. It bounces over the bar. That's 3 points. Well, Johnston was a little unsighted there as the pack was coming back on him. He stood his ground and the ball pitched between he and the pack and went over the bar. Johnston, wasting no time, goes down the middle of the ground, storming through his Langford. Could have been called for travelling. Comes to Rioli. Rioli over the top, taken by Roos. This is Platten. Platten on the burst, pulls it back just outside the small rectangle, fisted away by McGilligan. And now Ireland bring it away. Lyons gets it across to Cahalan. Cahalan, foot to hand, drives down towards half forward. In front is Holden. Leading back in the race is Healy. Coming across in the oblique angle there was Spillane. Ireland have got the numbers, but Healy's got the ball. Gets a hand pass to Holden. Holden from half back. A high floater from behind Cahalan. Leaps into the back of the Australian player Dale Waitman. It will be an Australian ball from the sideline. Dale Waitman involved in 1 or 2 skirmishes in the third quarter. Goes very close to the man on the mark. That's McNicholl, and McNicholl is waved back. 57-48, Australia's way. Waitman. Up was Platten. Holden waiting behind is tackled by Platten. Well, not really a tackle. He was harassed, although the end result was that he slung Holden. It will be an Irish ball. Well, Platten, I think that time, Eugene, was a little unlucky. He was trying to do the right thing initially.
Well, this tackle escapes me, I must say, because the laws say they're entitled to tackle the person between the shoulders and the waist, so long as they don't pin their arms against the body. I just don't know what the referees are calling a tackle here tonight. I don't think anybody else knows either.
No, this is O'Shea. O'Shea breaks away, going down towards the half-forward line. Blaney takes the ball. Just looking at the rules, we might try and clarify that if we can, at least what's in the program here tonight, is McNicholl tries to go through the pack. It comes across to O'Driscoll. And what's he done with it? Left foot. In fact, it was Daly on the left foot. And he's put it through for a behind, was it?
Yeah.
49 plays 57. Wilson leads in the race, but the boundary line is too near. Back comes Lyons with the kick. Deep telling kick, and a great mark is taken down there for Ireland, not paid. Coming through is Nailey. Well, I thought the man down there, Daly, took the mark. It wasn't paid. Away comes Wilson. Wilson driving towards half forward. Anderson's in front. Brilliantly played as he slapped the ball into the path of Rioli. Rioli inside the 13-metre line, deep in the pocket, squares the ball. Well played, Maurice Rioli. Richardson was up, couldn't take it. O'Shea comes away, gets it across to Hagen. Hagen, the hand pass across to Daly. Daly goes towards half forward, gathered down there by McNally. The high kick across the face of the ground. Leading in the race down there is O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll is deep in the pocket, sends it square. That's a magnificent effort. He allowed for the breeze superbly and just missed. He registered a behind, so it's 50-57. Hagen's got it. Not for long. Coming through is Danaher. McGuinness tentatively but effectively got it across to Langford. Now the big fellow decides foot to hand. He breaks across midfield. Still it's Langford. Makes a good 6 paces there. They're large paces too. But the kick wasn't the equal of the build-up. This is O'Leary coming away, and the goalkeeper decides to go for a run. That's rather dangerous as he pulls it back. The goal was exposed, but he gets back in time, mainly because of Daly. He was able to get that ball. This is McNicholl. He really does have some toe, McNicholl. Look at him go again. Toe in more senses than one. McNicholl pushed out of bounds, and it will be an Irish ball, I would suggest. He was pushed across the end line, and he fell rather awkwardly. No. It will be an Australian kick from that end line. There goes McNicholl, a valiant attempt to keep it in play. O'Driscoll knocked away by Nailey. This is Blaney over the ball now. Blaney, he can't pick it up in that situation. He's got to knock it out. Well, he almost picked it up. It could have been an Australian free. Doesn't matter much as Wilson emerges with the ball to Danaher. Playing brilliantly by O'Driscoll. It seemed to be a tackle, as did that one by Murray. Second one is paid. Will be taken by Holden. Craig Holden from half-back, kicking through midfield. Coming to meet the ball with dash is Lyons. Well played. He wanted to go, Lyons. He's claimed. From the ground, he tosses the ball up. Richardson can't control it. In goes O'Shea, cleverly with his feet. Back to O'Shea, brilliantly done. Hagen got the ball to O'Shea, who got it in turn to Lyons. It comes to Spillane. Spillane goes over the top. This is Blaney. Blaney outside 20, goes goalward. That's a fine effort from there. 3 points. 4-point ball game now. 57-53, Australia lead. This is Platten. Out of defence, Johnny Platten gets it across to Roos, looks for support, then goes alone. Searching hand pass, out of bounds. Irish ball. 1 or 2 of the Australians pacing anxiously down on the sideline now as Ireland creep closer. Final quarter. There goes Lyons. They're 20-minute terms plus extra time. Johnny Platten looking for the ball. Coming away is Mark Bairstow. Well done. Sells the dummy to Holden. Sends it to midfield. Fagan gets in the way though for Ireland. Sends it across field. 2-on-1 situation. McNally's taken the ball. McNally goes for a more central location. Coming out is Holden, but in front is Nailey. It's an Australian ball. Nailey has it deep in his own defence. Australia backs against the wall at the moment. That gives an indication of the breeze. It's freshened considerably since about halfway through this game with that shower of rain I mentioned at half-time. So too came the breeze. This is McNally in midfield, going on goal. Not a good kick. Wobbles away short. Taken by Naley. He decides to run it out, Mark Naley. Oh, loose hand pass. Came to Richardson. Healy's got it. Bursting down the ground once more is Langford. Langford. Drop kick. McGilligan's in the road. He's claimed from behind. That must be an Irish ball. Well, it seems the sling is the only thing the umpires really are concerned with, and that's the indication coming from the referee out there at the moment. Referee, umpires, not sure which they are. Depends, I suppose, which code you follow. This is Kahale. So maybe we have a local rule. Brilliant catch. Mark is taken by Naley. Feel as they were bilingual. Healy coming through is Holden, and he concedes a sideline kick. So Ireland applying great pressure at the present time.
Yes, Ireland doing well at the moment now. They're containing Australia very well and making it very difficult for them to get moving in the groups that they were moving in earlier on.
Healy off hands. It's taken by Kahale. O'Shea deftly around the corner, but only as far as Langford. Booming kick back into attack. O'Leary gets on the end of it. Runners loose to the outer. That's our broadcast side. They're coming towards us. This is Lyons. Lyons collides with Richardson. Spillane's hand pass was charged down. Wilson now. Wilson with a sortie deep into the heart of the defence of Ireland, but the kick is a loose one. It goes through for a behind. 58 plays 53. Ball in midfield. It's all Australia. That pitch is slippery. Rioli's got it from the Danaher hand pass over the top to Dale Waitman. No, it's McGuinness, in fact. He pulls it back. Taken by O'Leary. Gets it across to O'Shea. O'Shea goes around the outer side. This is McNichol out there. Controls it brilliantly. He and Wilson would have a great foot race. Surely it must be McNichol's free. It is. Here's a live wire, McNichol. Blistering speed. And Naley did all he could to apply the foul for Australia. Of course, McNichol was the man who charged down the ground and had that collision with McIntosh that resulted in McIntosh being sent off the ground. This is Lyons. As we've said, it's slippery in that center area. Lyons goes in short. This is Holden. Aided by the bump there, but gave the ball away. Rioli's got it in midfield. Rioli, a little indecisive, looking to draw a man, pops it over to Richardson. Richardson can score from here. Richardson, long bomb, puts it through. 3 points. 61 plays 53. Listen to that crowd involvement. Maybe the NFL has struck a pot of gold. Battling out there is Kerrigan. Against him is Langford. Langford pulls it back, taken by Roos. Shrugs a tackle, albeit a high one. Gets it across to support out there. The hand pass comes in from Bairstow. Crashing through is Murray. This is Blaney. Claimed from behind Blaney by Roos. It will be an Irish free. They've got spare men down towards the pocket, begging for the ball. Blaney saw them, but too late. Blaney. Full credit to both sides. They've been tough as nails out there tonight. Blaney, long on goal, puts it through for a behind. 54 Ireland, 61 Australia. And the clock is down to, let's take a look at that. We've played approaching 13 minutes, just a couple of seconds off 13. In fact, it's gone 13 now. Kahale has the ball on the outer side, pulls it back. Missed out there by McNichol. Great recovery. Can't control the ball, though. Platten arrives for Australia. Gets it across to support from Healy. He's been a fine player. Lays the ball off, and once more, the explosive pace of Wilson. Look at him go. Wilson down the broadcast side wing. Long penetrating kick towards half forward. Anderson's in front. McGilligan crashes his way through. Sends play back towards the half forward line for Ireland. The ball is seesawing the WACA ground at the moment. Healy goes in. Tries to get it across to support. It will be an Irish ball. Healy picked it up on the ground. Left row Rourke, who can kick it a long way with his left foot, but this will test him. Certainly did. Skews it across the ground. Coming down to meet it was Naley, one hand. Back to O'Rourke. O'Rourke goes in short. Taken high was Kerrigan. No free. Comes to Holden. Holden gets it to Roos. Roos over the top. Good cooperative play by the Australians. They clear their zone again as Bairstow charges around the grandstand side. kicks towards half forward. Wayward kick. It goes out of bounds. Sideline kick coming up for the Irish. That's our scoreline. 1-13-16, 61, 5-5-9-54. This is Murray. I'm told a lot of people were turned away tonight. There was a big crowd waiting to get in. Not enough gates to let them in. I think even the organisers surprised by this crowd. Certainly in the public areas, it is a massive turnout. Langford runs the ball up and gets it across to Danaher. Danaher on centre wing, cuts infield. Drop kicks the ball towards half forward. Platten in from the side. Hagen was with him. Richardson behind the opportunist. Swings it down towards the end line, unintentionally. That's what he got, though. It crossed that line. And Ireland bring it away as O'Leary finds Kerrigan. Kerrigan's away. Runs up to centre wing. Tries to chip it to himself. Wilson's in earnest pursuit. Both of them almost lose their footing on the pitch area. Kerrigan's kick wasn't a good one. And this Australian defence is soaking up a lot of pressure as Langford puts the ball back yet again. Platten keeps it in play. Here's trouble now for Ireland. Platten storming across half forward. Releases the ball to Rioli. Rioli twisting and turning. Confronted by Fagan. Must be an Australian ball. Despite the plea on his knees from Fagan.
There's certainly a tremendous crowd reaction here tonight for a game that most people here wouldn't have seen before. It's amazing the response of the crowd, just looking around them and see the gesticulations and the excitement.
Rioli, high floating kick. They contest. Well, as it turned out, no contest because Danaher has done as he's done all night. Controlled the air. That is a brilliant piece of work by Danaher, aided by the shape of the ball. Harder to do with the Australian football, but my word, what an aerialist. Terry Danaher, the Australian captain, about 15 minutes gone in this term, sends it through for 3 more points. Australia, with breathing room now, leads 64-54. McGuinness breaking down the outer side wing for Australia. Chips it in short. Deflection comes to Murray. Murray swings it back to centre field, taken by Blaney to O'Shea, who runs up to midfield. O'Shea releases the ball to O'Rourke. He's in trouble. Shrugs a tackle, almost goes back into one, but gets a searching hand pass out to accommodate Kerrigan. Kerrigan knocks the ball across to McNichol, deemed a throw, and it will be an Australian ball. Langford to take it. That's our scoreline. Just over 5 minutes to go, I'd suggest, as Langford finds the boundary line yet again.
Quite a few of the Irish players are definitely showing signs of tiredness now at this stage, not surprisingly, because their own game is a 60-minute game back in Ireland. This has gone on for 80 minutes.
Cahalan in trouble. O'Shea. Murray goes out wide. Too much carry on the hand pass. It cleared Spillane. Breaking away is Wilson. Wilson. Great dash. Platten's got it now. Platten towards the half-forward line. Dale Waitman finding space. Got plenty of time to Richardson. Richardson runs inside the 13-metre line and pulls it back for a behind. It was a good effort from there. It didn't miss by much. 65-45, and suddenly Australia finding it easier to score. They're finding holes in this defence. Ireland pushing men forward. This is O'Rourke on the wing. O'Rourke goes long towards the 20-metre line, marking in front. A chance for Ireland. Blazing away at goal down there was O'Hagan, is it? If they called for another jumper, it may be O'Driscoll in number 25. It's certainly not O'Hagan. They've had a few jumpers ripped tonight. There goes Hagen, putting the ball back in. Good mark taken in front by Blaney. Brilliant save by Johnston. He's got the job for the series. Australia come away. This is Platten. Chips it in short and finds Nailey. Nailey back to Platten. Platten runs it up towards midfield. High floating kick. Getting back is Murray. Approaching 19 minutes. So it seems Australia will take a lead to Melbourne. Daly gets it across to Kerrigan, who chips it in short. Taken by Blaney. Blaney is tackled, and the decision is an Irish ball. Rightly so. So I'm sure tonight we'll see a big crowd in Melbourne for the second test. Ball coming back to Blaney, and I'm sure that a few lessons may have been learnt tonight, Eugene.
Yes, well, of course, the big question will be which side will learn the most. I feel myself it probably would be Ireland.
Blaney.
Maybe I hope that.
He just misses to the right-hand side. So behind, 55 plays 65. Time now is the enemy of the Irish. And there's the man who made that brilliant save in the last build-up. That would have made it a grandstand finish had it gone in for 6. This is Spillane. Spillane gives it across towards Fagan. Fagan in short. Kerrigan goes over the top. Under pressure, Ireland. There goes the high kick. That's not a bad effort from there. There's the hooter. And Australia have won. Australia have won the first test in the Foster's International Challenge. The goalkeeper is elated. And if you don't think the players are taking this seriously, you're seriously misguided. The Australians are cock-a-hoop with their victory. And we make it 57 Ireland, 65 Australia. So 8 points the margin. And Ireland, my word, gallant in defeat. A marvellous effort by the Irish. They stuck at their task. They mounted numerous attacks early in this term, but they were repulsed by the Australians. And eventually, by pushing too many men up, Ireland paid the penalty at the back. So the final scoreline there is 65 to 57, 116-17 to 5-5-12. We'll be back at the WACA in just a moment.